In this video, we're going to go through the ultimate rotator cuff workout. It's going to be 5 exercises, including all rotator cuff muscles and the serratus. The first exercise in this ultimate rotator cuff workout is a 90-90 external rotation. This is Cole. He's actually going to pitch in college next year. He's a high school senior. He's in our winter training program. He's been working with us for a little while now, and he's going to be our dummy for the video. So he's laying on his side, around 90 degrees here, 90 degrees of elbow flexion. So 90-90. I actually have guys sometimes come up into more shoulder elevation, so it's around 100-degree angle here. And then from there, he's got his arm under. His thumb is holding his arm from rolling back this way. And he's going to go into external rotation, keeping his shoulder down in the socket. So go ahead and show him, Cole. He's pushing his elbow out that way, or pushing his shoulder into protraction, keeping his shoulder down, not letting it come up this way, and not letting it roll back that way. So why don't you show him a poor repetition, Cole, where you let your arm roll this way when you do it. See how he's letting his elbow lose elevation at the shoulder? That's what we want to avoid with this exercise. So he's pushing out. Do a couple more. So he's going to go through 7 more reps because we're going to take him through the full workout here. We want to show you guys how quick it can actually be. So I hope Cole's counting. See how it's a perfect piston? There's no deviation either direction. Infraspinatus, teres minor, 2 rotator cuff muscles on the posterior aspect of the shoulder. Exercise number 2 going to be the supraspinatus, rotator cuff muscle that's commonly impinged in the shoulder. It comes along the top, goes under the acromion here, that's bone, and attaches right here on the shoulder. Important for throwers at the very end of the throw, and it also keeps their humeral head down in the socket during the throw. So we have to cue it the right way. When he does the exercise, we have to make sure he keeps the shoulder down. He reaches as far as he can, keeping the shoulder down, rotating his thumb under. So he's turning off the deltoid muscle, which can compress the humeral head in the socket and actually cause a superior migration of the humeral head by reaching as far as he can and pushing his shoulder down in the socket. And he doesn't get very high. You can see he's struggling, and Cole's strong. We've been working with him for a while. Reach, reach, reach. So I like to cue it with the hand. If you're doing this at home, you got to think, rotate your thumb under. See how he's rotating under and reaching. So Cole's going to do 10 repetitions. Good. Don't have to get very high. He's in a nice lunge stance. I can make it harder on the quads. I can have him lunge, lunge, lunge. Come on, touch your... Now do it. So harder on the quads, keep your shoulder down. And then if I see hamstring inflexibility, straighten this leg. Now do it. Different exercise. So I can vary the exercise. That's exercise number 2. Exercise number 3 is going to be a serratus exercise, and then we're going to go to subscap, and we're going to finish it off with one of our favorite exercises that you're not going to want to miss. So the next exercise here is actually a Serratus Press, or a ceiling punch, as some people call it. We're using a band. We do a variation of this in our Rotator Cuff Complete on our website, which you should check out. We got 12 rotator cuff exercises on there if you're looking for more. But what he's going to do is he's going to press to the ceiling. He's holding the band in his hand, not these handles, so you can use any band. You can use Jaeger bands, TheraBand, whatever you want. He's going to bring his arms up this way. So he's in around 110 degrees of shoulder flexion, which is exactly where we want him. Makes the exercise much more difficult, makes him upwardly rotate through his scapula more when he presses. Now he's going to press to the sky. He does a little ceiling punch. He holds there without losing any of that shoulder elevation, so he doesn't let his hands come down this way. Press, 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 and he does a mini crunch. Now he holds the mini crunch, and then he pulls both knees into his chest without letting this come back. So he lengthens his lat, he turns on his abdominals, he hollows his body, and presses. Then he goes down. So that's 1 rep. Let's do 10, Cole. You can go a little bit faster. So he's holding a little bit longer than we like. Well, in certain scenarios. because when he's doing 10 reps, it's extremely difficult, especially with this red band that he has here. So you can see he's reaching as high as he can. He's turning his palms out this way compared to that. Sometimes we do serratus and internal rotation too, but sometimes that can be somewhat provocative with people that have shoulder impingement. So press, reach, mini crunch. He's really in that serratus press for around 3 seconds, so his time under tension is very good. He's pressing, pressing, pressing. Don't lose that external rotation, Cole. Very difficult exercise, especially for Cole here, who just went through a couple hours of training at the facility. Makes it much more difficult with that little abdominal crunch with the legs there at the end. Start, if you have to, without even the upper body crunch. So Cole, can you just show the upper body crunch? Legs down, legs down. So start with that, or without even doing the crunch, just do the punch. That can be your first step if it's very hard. Once you can do that perfectly, then you can do it with the upper body crunch, turn in the palms out, and then the legs up. So 3 progressions to that, depending on what level you're at. From here, we're going to go to a subscap exercise. Subscapularis, internal rotation. It's the primary internal rotator during the throw in combination with the lat. It primarily protects against anterior translation of the humeral head and maximal external rotation. So when your arm's coming through and your forearm lays back, it prevents that in the socket, which if you're having anterior shoulder pain, it could be weak. So we're going to have him squat down. He's here. He's going to do internal rotation. I see guys do it all the time. So Cole, just do it how most guys do it, like where they're just kind of bringing it in, they're doing that. How I'm going to have him do it, and he started to do it there on the first rep, is he's going to bring it in, but he's going to press his elbow out and back towards the Kaiser machine back here. So he's going to start in. Hold on, Cole, go real slow for him on this first rep. So he's going to start with his elbow kind of in, and then as he goes, it goes out. The whole time he's pulling his scapula or his shoulder blade down and back. See how his elbow goes out and points directly over there? So he's trying to turn on a little bit of the posterior delt, so he turns off the pec as much as possible. Because the pec will really dominate this exercise if you just sit here and do it like he did at first. Subscapularis, really overlooked in therapy. It's overlooked a lot of times in arm care programs because guys are actually doing pec exercises, pec major exercises. So he's pulling this shoulder blade down and back. He's turning on mid-low traps, rhomboids, which is also going to help turn off pec minor. So he's going to do 10 here. Push out, push out, push out. Good. 10 there. Now, if you stayed with us this whole time, you're going to see one of our favorite finishers in this rotator cuff workout. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe right now and like this video. We're going to be coming out with way more videos: elbow strengthening, shoulder strengthening, core rotation, rotational excursion. All things you're not going to want to miss. Hit the subscribe button right now and hit the thumbs up until it turns blue. Exercise number 5, up the wall. It hits a lot of different things and it's very difficult. That's why we like it. So we always have a towel or a pillowcase, t-shirt, something like that, something sturdy. You don't want to rip through it. He's going to hold it just like that. He's going to get a grip on the towel, a nice firm grip. The towel's going to be under his elbows. So he's got his elbows against the wall. He's going to take his wrists off the wall just a tad. So his wrists are off the wall, maybe an inch. His elbows are pushing into the wall. He's going to tuck his butt under. Now from here, he's going to try to rip the towel apart. So rip the towel apart, press your elbows in to the wall. So he's doing full protraction this way. So if you're doing it, you want to go this way. He's going to go up the wall. He gets to about right here. He's still trying to rip it. Cole does a very good job of technique with exercises. That's why we wanted to use him in the video. He's pressing his elbows into the wall as hard as he can. So he's working the serratus as he goes up and down, working the infra, teres minor. Here, keeping his shoulders down, and he's protracting. He's turning off the posterior delt or reciprocally inhibiting it to the best of his ability. Very, very difficult to do. You can see he's shaking. How many did you do, Cole?
5, I think.
5. So if you can get 8 repetitions at this exercise with perfect form, you're a beast. So we typically like to have them do 5, 6, perfect form. I'm going to have him show one quick repetition another way. So another way you can make it more difficult if you've been doing this for a while, you've seen it in our YouTube videos and things, he's going to go into a little bit of a lunge stance. So go into a lunge. Now touch your knee to the wall, but keep your foot back. But now take your knee a 1/4 of an inch off the wall. So he's working quad. He's got to hinge more at the hips. He's got to protract farther with his scapula. Much more difficult. Now he can straighten that front leg even harder. So now he's got hamstring flexibility. Come on, Cole, get those wrists off the wall. You can see how much he's shaking. It's a very difficult exercise. That's good. So if you're new to the channel, subscribe right now. Drop a comment below if you like this video. And if you have any questions, let us know. This is actually a question we had from a guy that I know that's a college baseball player. And he wanted to know a quick rotator cuff workout that's going to hit everything and improve some of the shoulder discomfort that he was having. So if you have any questions, drop it in the comments. We might be able to feature that in a video and make an entire video about your question. We'll see you at the next one. Good work.